Guys, this is Dark Horse Rowing, and today we are talking about storing and traveling with a rowing machine, with your Concept 2 rowing machine. Now, these things are industrial strength. They'll last forever. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. So I always suggest making sure that you watch some of our maintenance videos so that you know how to take care of these things on a regular basis. You clean them the way they need to be cleaned, and if you do just a little bit of work on a regular basis, you'll never have to worry about these machines. Now, when we store them, there are some things that we can do to help optimize the amount of space that they don't take up, okay, or optimize their storage capacity, and make sure that we are prepping the machine so that over time we aren't prematurely wearing it out. Now, the first thing is that whenever we're storing this machine, we want to make sure we do two things. Number one, fold the monitor up. Okay, that monitor should be folded. This whole system here protects that monitor, and the monitor is the most expensive piece of equipment on the machine. So the last thing you want to do is have it take an impact by hitting a wall, by having an errant barbell hit it. So we always fold that monitor up. Next, you want to make sure that the handle is setting up in, we call this the cage, this little rectangular box here. Make sure it's up there when you are storing the machine. Now, if you have a workout and it's out for an hour, it's fine to put it in the catch here, but the rest of the time, you want it up here. The reason being, on the underside, there's a bungee system. And if we store this here, the bungee is what pulls the handle back into the machine. And if we store this handle in the catch, over time, we just put unnecessary stretch on that bungee. And that bungee will prematurely wear out, which means that we have to replace it sooner. This is an easy thing to do. You just make sure that the handle is up before you ever go to store the machine. Now, when we are storing the machines in a gym, check this out. Look how we have these machines set up here. Okay? We have a good number of machines, and all of them are nice and tightly packed. Right? And they're also only taking up as much wall space as they are deep. We aren't having to create multiple rows of rowing machines. Now, to do this, all you're going to do is start with your first machine, set it against the wall. You want to get it as close as possible without actually hitting the wall. So you're going to start with that first machine. Now, every machine thereafter, you're just going to slide in and on top of the machine that you just put down. Okay? So when we bring that machine in, we are going to overlap it as close as possible so that the right side of the leg and this center leg are going to effectively touch the left side of the leg on the machine next to it. Now, you can do this from the right or from the left, but all you will do is just overlap, 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 overlap all the way down until you have your machines in place. Now, the tighter they are together, the less space they're going to take up, which is going to save you time and effort. It's also going to give you more space back in your gym so that you aren't wasting unnecessary space with these machines, because they really don't take up that much space, especially if you store them properly. Okay? Now, this is how I suggest you store your machines if you are tight on space and you do have a number of ergs. If any number over 3, I would be storing in this way because it takes up next to no space. Now, the other thing, traveling with your machine. Now, when you travel with these machines, you always want to make sure that the machines are taken apart into 2 pieces, which I'm hoping that you know this, but in case you don't, you're going to have this little lift here. Okay, so I'm going to pull this lift up and the machine comes apart into 2 pieces. So I am always going to travel with this machine in 2 pieces. It makes it much easier. I can simply pick this piece up and carry it wherever I need to, or put it in whatever I need to. And if I have some small container like the back of a truck or inside of a van, I've even fit these inside the back seats of sedans. Okay, you can easily fit it because the 2 pieces can now overlap with one another wherever you might have to put them. So if you have to store these things or travel with them, here's your storage solution and here's your travel solution. Always break it into 2 parts. When you're done, you just put the 2 pieces back together. One thing I always make sure to warn you about is watch your fingers. This seat will slide and pinch your fingers. Nobody wants that. It's happened to me more than I'd care to admit. When you put it back together now, you're just going to lift both ends, bring them back together. You'll see that there's a little U here. You're going to take that U and position it on top of the bar that sits in between these 2 foot stretchers. You then drop it and pop the lock and you're good to go. This is how to store and travel with your ergs. This is Dark Horse Rowing signing off. Make sure that you sign up for the Dark Horse Crew, in which you will get coaching and workouts 2 times a week, every week, for all your rowing and non-rowing needs, as well as sign up for the Dark Horse Hustler's Guide to Rowing, in which you'll get our latest blog article and video every Tuesday morning directly to your inbox. See you guys on the other side.